as mentioned by Lee earlier, we'd like to take the opportunity to take our turns saying a few words about Rocci. So I think what I'd like to do is just kind of start with one end and go around, and if you'd like to, come on up. We've got the video camera going, so that way you can be on there and maybe give a message to Rocci so he can see it. So don't just speak from your chair unless you're absolutely petrified of coming up here. So I think I'll start with
Am I talking there, or am I talking
to Rocci?
Rocci, it'd be great to have you here tonight. I thought about you this last week, and I thought about the years that I've known of you, reading the newspaper, the editorial section, thinking to myself, this is such an eloquent man. What are these topics that he is carrying on about that seem to have no relevance to my world? I asked that question a number of times. I'm only sorry that I didn't find out who you were sooner. The opportunity to have gotten to know you here at Toastmasters has proven to me to be just a wonderful gift that I will always carry with me. And I think to one particular speech that you gave on the topic of salesmanship, where you questioned your ability, and without question, you're skilled beyond measure. And I think that I had the opportunity to evaluate you in that, when in fact you are this far and beyond above me in speaking skill. And the thing that I found so wonderful about that was that I watched you eating up and absorbing with great attention and great desire to hear my critical thinking about your speech. It was something that just resonated with me, that for the gifted man that you are, that you truly see that everyone has something that you can grow from. And I was touched that you did, in fact, find some value in my ability to share thoughts about your speech. I will carry you always in my heart and my thoughts.
Hey Rocci, how you doing? I'm not very loquacious during these moments, but I will say one thing. I am going to miss your banter with Lloyd. Several times you guys have had a chance to do that. And miss just having you around, and you're just a great influence on our club. And wish I would have got to know you also better along the way. I think one of my funnest times was when we were at the contest in Yakima, and I got a chance to have you talk about the goats eating the coffee and jumping around and going crazy. And I just wish you the best, and hope things are just good. Appreciate it. Thanks, Rocky.
Hi, Rocky. We're certainly going to miss you here. You have been an inspiration to me ever since I came into this club. I was looking forward to going on some storytelling episodes with you. You mentioned early on that our political outlooks were probably considerably wide apart. Yes, Rocky, they are. But you did change my thinking with one of your speeches, the speech that you gave on gay marriage. You changed my thinking on that completely, and I appreciate it.
Hi, Rocky. I remember the first time I met you here at Toastmasters. The first time I met you, I actually met you at an energy healing workshop. So when I saw you here, I knew there was somebody of like mind, and that helped me. What I realized when you got up and spoke, because you had already had surgery on your throat, and there was a rasping voice, and I was wondering, well, how's he going to give a speech? And you got up, and everybody could hear what you're saying, and you were animated and energetic, and there was something inside me that it touched about overcoming adversity, and I was moved and inspired, and I realized I really want to try because of you. And like Jack, the speech that I remember was the one about gay marriage, about I choose love. And it didn't change my thinking because I already was for that. But what it inspired me to do was go home and look at my marriage and realize, am I loving as much as I can? Because that's what I heard when you did that. So we miss you as much as I know you miss us. So thanks.
Rocky, I think the thing that I will remember most is when I first saw you in 2007, June of 2007, when I first joined this club. I've always been really good at relating narratives, but what I understood from you, from watching your speeches, is that there's a gigantic difference between relating a narrative and telling a story. And you are an absolute master at storytelling. And I can't tell you how much I learned from you. I think a lot of the success I've had in contests is because of what you taught me and watching you at the contest. In particular, I will never forget the first contest that you and I drove down to in Yakima together, where you had a humorous speech based on your cancer treatment. And the look of horror and shock on the audience faces was just priceless. And I thought you beat me in the contest, but you did not, and that's because the audience just didn't get it. They didn't understand your humor. It was so subtle. It was just astonishing to see. So, Rocky, you are an important guy to me, and I hope you know that. Thank you.
Hey, Rocky. I actually am one of those members that didn't get to know you as well as some of the others had gotten to know you, and I really wish I had. In the short time that we got to know each other and spend a little time together, and the speeches that I've heard you give, I've just found you to be a tremendous role model for myself. Just judging by all your intellect and your application of thought to different problems, along with your sense of humor and your just compassion and understanding of different aspects of life, really expanded my viewpoint. And I'm definitely going to take a lot of things away from you and hopefully carry on a little bit of your tradition well into the future. Thank you. It's great to know you.
Rocky, I can't see a picture of a goat or a coffee bean without busting up because of you. So people look at me really funny sometimes when I'll just burst out laughing in the middle of the coffee aisle at Safeway, because I'm thinking about you and the goats and the coffee and the drunken goats and the monks and the whole thing. What a great story. You have such a gift of telling stories. We have all benefited from it immeasurably. You can probably tell by now, you have a legacy here at Cascade Speakeasy. We have all absorbed parts of you that we are going to lean on and depend on for the rest of our time as speakers in life, in all the various things that we accomplish, and we have you to thank for that. And I also want to thank you for coming into Toastmasters, and you'll come in and sit down, and that twinkle starts to show up in your eye, a little curl on one side of your mouth, and I know you and Lloyd or you and Eric are positioning to get into it over the word of the day or something. It always brings joy to our hearts. Rocci, we love you. Take care. Appreciate it. Wrong way.
Eric?
Dude, everybody makes this easy coming up in here, talking to this little box, but it's bizarre. Rocci, you're a great speaker, you're a great storyteller, and you're great at table topics. I've seen you get some bizarre table topics. I've been happy to try and give you some bizarre ones, and you just take them, you string the thoughts together, and you always weave in some humor. I've learned a lot about you, about speaking through those different exercises. I will miss not trying to get one up on you on table topics. Dude, you won. Thanks for that.
Hi, Rocci. Ditto what they all said. What else can I add to it? We love you. We're so thankful that you've been a part of our group. I can't tell you how much I've enjoyed your humor. You have been hilarious. You've cracked me up so many times, and it's just totally amazing that you have your talent, and as they said, your intellect. It's been fantastic. One thing that I remember is that you, one evening a long time ago, you had your wife and your daughter join us at the meeting, and that was fun to meet them, and then Alice was here with you recently. It was a joy to meet your family, and I'm thinking of you now. I'm thinking of your family. I'm saying prayers for you, and I know that God is watching out for you. Take care, Rocci.
Anybody else like to say anything?
Can I interject one last thing?
Absolutely.
Rocci, I overlooked something today. I'm the grammarian. The word of the day is compendium. We hope that you embrace this compendium of thoughts and genuine feelings for you.
I would like to finish by saying something to Rocci also. I didn't get to know you very well during the year that I was in the club. You were in and out. So my impressions were very few and far between. However, those impressions that I did get will last with me for a long time. One of the biggest impressions that I got was from your speeches and from one of the times where you weren't even present. The first time was when you did your speech with, in the area contest. I didn't really heard you speak too many times before that, but the speech you did during that contest, I think from listening to everybody else, really summed you up really well. And the fact that you were able to be very insightful and very thoughtful when you were describing your family. It was very impressive. Yet at the same time, you injected humor into it. Everything you said was very impactful and deep, but also made us laugh. That was very impressive the way you did that. Your skills are very subtle but very strong. And that is not an easily learned thing. The second impression I got about you was at the contest above that, the one down in Yakima, where you weren't able to attend. You sent along a note to the Toastmaster, who in turn read it to the entire audience. And my impression of that was that here is a really amazing guy. You had the forethought to send an email congratulating everybody in the contest and wishing them luck and sending your regret for not being there. I thought that was a very touching and very classy move. I know that I'm going to miss not having you here. It's obvious you've made a large impression on this entire group.